Food poisoning, part two. Now, honestly, just really getting into more depth about food poisoning. Yeah, it's a real matter. It's a real matter, and yeah, it can take place in many forms. This could be a part of a certain holiday. All these holidays and all this stuff is a part of this food poisoning stuff. Believe it or not, any certain individuals and beings will be used by Satan's kingdom to try to give certain individuals who are of God and all this stuff. And even people who are not of God, they will still try to take certain people out. And it's more or less Satan behind this matter concerning food poisoning. Yes, these certain individuals, that are carrying this out for Satan and are aware of these matters and all this stuff, they will be judged by God. Yes, they will be. They will be, and judgment is already upon them, and all that deep stuff. But yeah, this food poisoning is real, and the main thing I can say to avoid being affected by food poisoning and all that stuff, is one, you got to truly have God. You got to have a relationship with God and the spirit of God too. It plays a big role in this. You have to have the spirit of God and a relationship with God, and also, you truly have to be praying over certain food that you may have to necessarily, I want to say, partake in or consume in a way, because you do need to feed yourself and all this deep stuff. Yeah, of course, for you certain individuals and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, yeah, you need to be praying in Jesus' name concerning everything you're consuming. It doesn't matter if it's just a meal you're familiar with or not, because that's the thing about food poisoning. This stuff will come in many, many forms, and in meals that you are familiar with and all that deep stuff, because Satan knows these things, certain things concerning you, individuals. And you guys may take this lightly and all that stuff, but I don't have nothing to do with that, because food poisoning is real. And Satan is truly behind this stuff, And yes, he does play a big role in this stuff when it comes to this food poisoning stuff. Of course, and demons and all that stuff is attached to this food poisoning as well. And yeah, I mean, he wants you to consume the wrong stuff, so he can more or less take you to hell too. That's the thing about this: take you to hell, and any other dark place that you may be ordained to really go to for you certain wicked people out there. I'm just being very real. So if you people are partaking in this food poison and stuff, then man, you know, not only is God's judgment on you, but you're seriously like, you're gonna be in some very dark places concerning with Satan, and whether you know this or not or believe this or not, it's a real matter. So yeah, but for you people who are of God and love God and all that stuff, or people who just have interest in God too, as God's leading me to say this, and you have interest in him for the right reasons, and different things in that nature, and more or less he has interest in you certain individuals, who this bear witnesses with, God knows these things. But yeah, you need to definitely pray to the God of Israel and Jesus Christ. They both play a big role in you being just like, I want to say, protected from food poisoning, and concerning you eating certain meals that you may not necessarily like want to fully partake in, but you have to like, of course, consume meals and certain stuff to, thrive and different things like that. Yeah, so certain meals, you just truly need to be praying. That's all I'm saying concerning the real Jesus, and to God the Father. You need to pray over the meal, and then certain meals you just don't need to consume at all, and then other meals you may just consume only a little. But even a little can do the most harm as well. So you really just more or less need to be praying over the food, and certain meals you need to go without, if I'm being real, because food poisoning is very real. And Satan is going to do his best to take more individuals to hell concerning and take more individuals out with this food poisoning stuff, and it's truly not a game. It's not for everybody. I don't expect everybody to believe in this spiritual stuff concerning this, but with all that being said, yeah, this stuff is real, and food poisoning will be a very valid matter concerning Satan with this stuff. And many people have experienced food poisoning, and and many people don't know these matters that I'm telling you spiritually, is what I'm saying. But with all that being said, yeah, food poisoning is a real matter, and God's people, more or less, will be, I want to say, like, favored in not encountering food poison. God's, I want to say, favor and just his blessings and favor and his more or less, just his favor will shield you from more or less encountering this food poisoning if you truly love him and and are sincere in him and pure, and you have a pure soul and a pure heart and all that deep stuff for you certain individuals. But this is not for everybody. He will shield you from this stuff, his favor, and if you truly love God for God. But I'm just being real. If you don't, then, and you're on the dark side of things and all this stuff, then yeah, food poisoning will be food poisoning will be, a part of you, and you will be a part of this food poisoning stuff, one way or another. In a way, I'm being real, and Satan is behind this once again, and he knows who to deal with when it comes to this food poisoning stuff. So not everybody will be experiencing this necessarily, no, but there will be numerous of certain individuals and beings that will, and that's why this is a very valid matter, concerning this food poisoning. But with all that being said, yeah, I'm out.